What if Thailand is a Pokemon region? Hi, I'm Shrimp. I'm an artist, a Pokemon fan, and someone who loves character design. Today, I want to share my idea on the fan region I'm making, the Siam region, which is based on my home country, Thailand. And what is a better place to start than a topic of the starter Pokemon? Also, yes, English is not my first language, so I'm going to butcher the pronunciation quite a lot, but I hope it's understandable. Starter Pokemon, or the official term, the first partner Pokemon, is as the name suggests. They are the set of 3 Pokemon a beginning trainer will choose as their first partner at the start of each game with 3 elemental type: grass, fire, and water. This archetype of Pokemon is very important part of the Pokemon franchise. In recent generations, they are not only just animals with elemental power, but each one has its own theme and concept. For example, the Gala starter are based on the theme of entertainment, which is music, sport, and movie. Another example is the Kalos starter, which are based on the RPG classes, a paladin, a mage, and a rogue. However, some set of starters also have a secondary theme and concept. The Alola starter are themed around the circus animal, but also represent the fictional character in media. The Decidueye is the Robin Hood, Incineroar is the Tiger Mask, and Primarina is the Little Mermaid. One more example is the Paldean starter, which are not only based on festival and celebrations, but also the country that once has been colonized by Spain. As for my fan-made region, the theme I choose is literatures and fantasy creatures. You see, when it's come to how Thailand advertise and promote the country, they tend to make it look like some sort of magical wonderland with a fantasy landscape. I mean, just look at this beer commercial, for example. You see that? And as a literature nerd and a fan of the fantasy genre myself, I have ideas for the starters. Alright, let me introduce you to Trabani, Hyraf, and Masori. Well, most of the first stage of the starter's evolution lights are not showing that thing yet. So now they are just small, cute little body. But we'll get to that, starting with the Pokédex order. Trabani, the Coney Pokemon, is very shy and quiet toward its trainer. Trabani mostly enjoys spending time only with itself. Yes, this little bunny has a timid personality, being very shy and introvert. Its name comes from shy, shrub, and bunny. Trabani here is based on a bunny, obviously, and its tail is a chrysanthemum flower bud. As for why the mum flower, well, I will explain that in more detail when I talk about the final evolution. But for now, let's evolve it. Banisi, the moon-gazing Pokemon. It's always spacing out while looking at the moon. Banisi seems to be thinking about something all the time, but for some reason, it cannot express its feeling like how it wants. As you can see, our bunny buddy here had started to come out of its comfort zone. But it still has anxiety, making it uneasy to communicate. Banisi is from bunny and uneasy, of course, if you can't tell what the name pulls from for some reason. Its appearance and pose are now somewhat resemble an amateur dancer. And yes, the next entry about it like spacing out looking at the moon come from the moon rabbit. And that's where the literature theme started. The moon rabbit is a mythical animal from Asia and indigenous American folklore. In Thailand, there's also an idiom and poem about rabbit and the moon, comparing both of them as a person from different social class in ancient times. Some say a low life form like a rabbit want to live on the moon where it's far higher than its power to achieve its dream, which play in the concept of banishee, as it underestimates itself with its anxiety, but with the power of friendship, as you, the trainer rooting for it. Banishee will believe and evolve into the new form with more confidence. Moon Dancer, the Luna dancing Pokemon. This Pokemon like to dance under the light of the full moon. It used the charming dancing step to cheer up its trainer. Yes, I know this name sounds stupid, and I can't give it a better name like Balleluna. But its dance is not based on ballet, so I'm not sure if I can name it like that. So what dancing style is it used? It is a Thai folk dance, but to be specific, it is called Fawn, which is a traditional northern Thai dance. Moreover, there are also some Thai folk songs about full moon, so that makes sense. Now, remember I said in the beginning that the secondary theme of the starters is fantasy creatures. Well, look at its long rabbit ears and think what kind of a fantasy long-eared creatures with human-like body who live in the forest and sometimes dance in the full moon night. Yes, I talk about all the fae like elf and dryad, hence why it's gained the fairy type. And the shiny version is based on the Dark Elf. It has the signature move Moonlight Step, which is a status fairy type move that sharply increases the user's special attack and special defense stat. This move has a 30% chance of confusing the opponent. Also, remember its tail being a mum flower? The mum flower has many meanings across the world. One of which is it represents joy and happiness, like how the final form no longer feels any anxiety and is ready to dance around its trainer to cheer them up. Another meaning is it represents longevity because it is partly inspired by elf and stuff, while in some places, mumflower symbolizes death and sadness because it's often used at the funeral. And if you watch Free Reign, you know what I mean by that. Now, let's move on to the fire type starter. Pyroth, the calf Pokemon, is too young to control its flaming power. Sometimes it accidentally burns its surroundings while being feared. Pyroth is simple. Its name comes from pyro and calf, a baby cow. I want to make it somewhat the same vibe as Sobble, so big adorable cartoon eyes are the way to go. And like Sobble, it's kind of a crybaby, but with the willpower to become stronger and better at controlling the flame power. Pyroth evolved into Pytoro, the meditation Pokemon. It trains so hard to control its flame power by meditating. When it's angry, the flame flashes out from its eyes. The name comes from Pyro and Toro, which mean boo. Just like the grass starter, the literature theme starts here. Did you know, in the early Rattanakosin period when Thailand was still known as Siam, Chinese literature started getting popular among the high class and royalty. During this time, they start translating many Chinese fiction like Romance of the Three Kingdoms and Journey to the West. To be honest, originally I planned to make the fire starter line to be based on the Red Hand, which is the horse that belongs to Lu Bu from the Three Kingdoms. But that idea is more fitting for a Chinese-inspired region. So, Pokemon already did 2 starters based on Journey to the West. Infernape, which is based on Sun Wukong, and Emball, which is based on Jubajia and Changfei from the Three Kingdoms. Naturally, another fire starter based on Sha Wu Jing would make perfect sense to complete the main trio in the story. But the thing is, Sha Wu Jing is a river monster, and Yes, I know Fuecoco is a crocodile, which is an aquatic animal, but mostly Shawujin usually depict as some sort of fish-like demon or even kappa in the Japanese version. However, I have a better idea. You see, Paitoro here is based on the Red Boy, who is the son of the Blue Demon, one of Sun Wukong's best friends and sworn brother. The red thing on his shoulder is the red Magatama, which is the ornament made from jade. You know, that one stone that symbolizes China. And the golden rings on Paitoro's wrist and legs are reference to the rings that Bodhisattva Guanyin put on him. Originally, there were 5 rings with the 5th one on his head, but that would be a bit overdesigned, so I only make it 4, which is on each limb. The pose is also a reference to how when Guanyin recite the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, the rings will force the red boy to put his hands together in front of his chest. And lastly, the next entry about the flame flashes up from its eyes when it's angry also comes from the red boy's ability to do that with his Samadhi fire. And with the power of Samadhi, when Paitoro practices its meditation to the point that it can finally fully control its power, Paitoro evolved once more into the almighty Demon King. Paitoros, the Flame Ruler Pokemon. It can use soul power to control any type of fire in the world. The level of its anger can be known by the darkness of the mask-like flame that bursts out from its eyes. The name is a combination of Pyro, Taurus, and Chaos, and you guessed it! Its final evolution is based on the Blue Demon King himself, with a long fur that looks like a cape, fitting for a menacing demon lord of the underworld. It also has a 70-power fire-type signature move, Hellfire, that when successfully landed can also lay a curse on the target. As for fantasy creature theme, this one is obvious. It's a demon, and being based on a bull make it has horns like most depiction of demons. Just like how Moon Dancer being a bunny make it have long ears like an elf. Okay, let's talk about the Blue Demon King some more. In Journey to the West, Blue Demon King takes the role of an antagonist on Wukong and Xuanzang's journey. But unlike the other demon, he is not an outright villain, and does not have the plan to capture Xuanzang to eat his flesh like the other demons. He just wants to revenge Wukong, even though they used to be sworn brothers, just because now Wukong is kind of not evil like what he used to be anymore. And then he turned his evil son, the Red Boy, into the good side, and now his son is not evil. Well, at least he cares about his son. Anyways, while designing Paitoros, I also pulled inspiration from Kai from Kung Fu Panda 3 and Asgore from Undertale. But now, it's time for the water starter. Masarin, the water lizard Pokemon. Always too energetic to keep up with, many new trainers lose sight of their Masarin because it likes to wander off on its own. As for the name, this time I decided to put Saw between Marine because it flows better in my opinion. Masarin here is based on an Asian monitor lizard, and you might happen to come across this reptile while visiting South and Southeast Asian country. In Thailand, one of the easiest places you can spot a monitor lizard is Lumpini Park, which is a central park of Bangkok. Contrasting the grass starter who is introverted, Masarin is the opposite. It is an extrovert, full of energy, ready to explore on its own to the point that its trainer need to keep an eye on it all the time to make sure that it's okay. But many still choose it anyway because of how friendly it is. And now, let's see what it evolved into. Corsair, the Braveheart Pokemon. It has the powerful strength to move a border 10 times bigger than itself. It's never afraid to fight back any stronger enemies. Monetary reserves can grow big. It even ranked the second biggest reserve. The first place is the Komodo Dragon, of course. The name is the combination of Corsair, which means pirate, and Saw. But why does the pirate inspiration with the blue and the white stripe resemble a sailor and a crewmate? Okay, this is going to be very long, so stay with me here. If you ask a random Thai person what the best Thai literature is, many of them may say Ramakien. However, I disagree. Why? Because Ramakien is the rewritten version of Ramayana, which is an ancient Indian epic, which make it kind of like the Netflix adaptation more than its own thing. But if you ask me, I will say that the best Thai literature is Prapaimani because it is a 100% original story with interesting ideas and the setting is considered to be very modern at the time it was written. You see, this literature was written around the time that English and France start colonizing other countries, and one of the big antagonists in the story is even the queen of the fictional England. Some Thai literary critics believe that Sunthornpoo, the one who composed Prapaimani aka the Bard of the Ratanakosin, composed this piece of his work as an anti-colonialist tale, disguised as a versatile tales of fantasy adventures. So what does it have to do with Corsair? Corsair is based on Sinsamut, one of the well-known characters in the story, who is the first son of Prapaimani and is half man, half ogre. And with him being half ogre, he has the strength to even move a border 10 times bigger than him, like how Corsair is able to do in the next entry. And what about the pirate inspiration? Well, in the later arc of the story, where Sinsamut and his soon-to-be stepmother Suwanmali got separated from Prapaimani because of the shipwreck, they were rescued by the fleet of pirates. However, Surang, the pirate captain, is up to no good because he wants to take Suwanmali as his wife. Even comes up with a plan to trick Sinsamut, who is very young at that time, to drink alcohol, so he will get drunk and cannot do anything. But my boy Sinsamut he has built different, with being very angry after he knew the plan of the captain and his willpower to protect his father's welfare. He grabbed the axe while being half drunk, killed a bunch of pirates, slammed the axe on the captain's head and become the new captain of the crew. And if you pay attention to Corsair's tail, you can see that its tail is an axe. It also has a signature move named Axe Tail, which is kind of like Axe Kick but maybe with less power to make it not OP. But yes, as Corsair represents the shy version of Sinsamut, the final evolution will be the version of Sinsamut when he's fully become the captain of the pirates. Capsaurus, the aquatic fighter Pokemon. It fights with honor and respect for the foes. People recognize it as the true warrior of the sea. Well, I talked so much in the previous stage about Sinsamut, and this one is not that complicated. It is the grown-up version when it becomes the true captain, and the axe tail is now a battle axe. The name is simple, just combine captain with Saurus. As for the secondary fantasy creature theme, this one is obviously a wizard man. Its signature move is called Sea Wave Strike, a 120 power water type move in which it performs a rapid punching combo like crashing waves, with each punch coated in water. Basically, the wet version of the 7-page Muda in JoJo. And that is all I have for today, for the starter from my Thailand-inspired region. To be honest, I kind of nervous making this because this is my first time making YouTube video, so if there is any mistake like grammar error, pronunciation error, or the tone of my voice is not consistent throughout the whole video, I'm very sorry about that. Also, I'm trying my best to not use text-to-speech because first, I want to pronounce some Thai word myself, and second, I want to be honest and make this video be like the real person is talking to you, not a machine. And yes, anyway, in the next video I want to talk about the map of my region, so if you are interested in more of my Pokemon content, don't forget to subscribe and also like the video. Feel free to comment below, do you like it or not. Anyways, I'm Shrimp. Let's talk again next time.